Hello my fellow board gamers and welcome to the channel all about economic board games. Today I bring you a very special trading game, AU, and this one is brought by the publishers here. They make handmade wooden games. They are from the designer Gavin Birmingham, who is being very modest and hasn't put his name on here, who brought us the game QE. Now this one is a 4-player game. It takes about 45 to 60 minutes and it's that lightweight medium sort of complexity. Now if you have to run through, check out the video I'll be bringing you guys next week. Now that box I just showed you would fit nicely and snug under this, but I've only got one hand available. So in this game we are trading our currency for resources in the hope of acquiring more gold, and this is all set in, it starts in round one, the 1900s, and the world is on the gold standard, and your goal is to become the wealthiest nation. And you can see the 4 different nations here, and you'll need to make shrewd business decisions. Now the phases, you've each got a nation, so 4 players. You've got Russia, UK, Germany and the USA over here in green, and you will be setting up with 20 gold and 20 currency in the first round. And I've kind of had a little bit of a play here, and on your sort of marker here, your audit card, you can see your gold is represented here. So at the moment the USA has got 25, and because they can back up their currency of 23 currently out there in the world, they've got a credit rating of 2, which means their strength of their currency is currently the strongest out there of the 4. Now this is important because at the end of the 4th round, dependent on where your currency is, will determine how many victory points you will acquire for the currency you're holding. At the moment, if you're holding the rubles for Russia, they're worth 0 victory points, so a lot of interesting play there. Now in the first round we are, well, not first round, the first phase of the round, we are bidding and potentially acquiring more currency into our nation. So on the backs of these you can see this plays Russia, they're trading in gas and ruble. Everyone will secretly put a bid in here, and you're bidding for a zinc, which is a unique resource which is very valuable. You can only spend gold to do this, and you start with 20 gold in the first round. Now if you did in the first round, you've all got a credit rating of 0, so you wouldn't be able to print currency. But let's say this round 2 here, and we were the USA, let me go and grab that one. They have a little bit of wriggle room here, so you can see they've got a credit rating of 2, so they could print up to 2, which means they're going to bring 2 more money, and there's some spare out in the game here, into play, which then means there's more currency out there, which gives them more flexibility and options. So once every player's put a bid in for gold here, they put their currency, these will be revealed simultaneously, and whoever has bid the most in gold will win that zinc resource. And you can see on a previous round USA won that, and that is a very important when it comes round to the mining. Now we head in, so we do a quick audit. So depending on how much gold, so they'd have spent, say Germany spent 6 gold, you would take the zinc token, and 6 gold would then be knocked off in the audit for Germany, so they then have potentially 15, minus the 20 would take them into -5, which affects where their location is and the value of their currency, and that makes a big impact when it comes to trading. So that's kind of a bit of auditing. So then you head into the trading. Now everyone, you've got 5 minutes to set yourself a timer, and once 5 minutes are over, the trading's finished. Or if 2 of these boats, so all these resources are actually in these little boats that come off. If a player, say the USA, takes their boat off because they're finished trading, you have to have completed at least 1 trade. If 2 of these boats come off, that triggers the end of trading as well. And there's some lovely detail under. In 1900, the US national debt was 2 billion. It's currently, I think it said 30 trillion, something like that on the main board. That is crazy. So trading begins. Now what can you do during trading? You have to trade your currency. So let's say the US goes, right, I want from Germany, I want one of their iron, and I'm going to trade you $2. So you have to trade at least one of your currency, and you can see there's enough iron in this supply there for Germany, and Germany's like, yep, I will do it. So this iron will head over to the ship or the boat for the USA. The currency will have traded hands, so 2 will head over to Germany. And this is all happening simultaneously. You've got 5 minutes, remember, if 2 boats come off. So everyone's going, right, I'll trade you this for that, that for this. You can't trade resource for resource. You can't go, right, I'll give you an oil for an iron. but you can trade your currency. Well, you have to trade at least one of your currency, and you can trade gold as well, which is rather valuable if you're going to do so. So bear in mind, because that gold it's all about the gold standard. To keep your currency in rating, you need the gold to back it up. So you can see if you've got 20 gold, 20 currency, you're currently at 0 credit. So let's just say one more example. The Russian players, they really need iron, and they're going to give away one of their rubles and equally £1 as well. So they give this to, or where do we say iron, to Germany. So you can see Germany's developing a bit of diversification over the currency. The iron swap hands with Russia on the board here. Now, once the 5 minutes up, or as I say, the 2 boats, you've ended the trading phase and you head into mining and auditing. Now, mining, each player got these board in front of them. You're going to fill unique resources in each row, and this is dependent on what you've managed to trade for. So in your boat, you can see the green player here. So our boats come off and we'll head over to the USA. So we've got an iron and a zinc that we spent a lot of gold to acquire during that bidding phase, and we've got an oil. So we have got 3 resources. Now I probably wouldn't spend that oil because you're trying to fulfill these numbers. So 2 unique resources is going to give you a chance to mine for 1 gold. If you, let's say, had a gas here, you got 4 unique resources in a row, that's going to get you 2 opportunities to mine. Now on the second row, equally, if you've managed to negotiate and bid, trade for several resources, you can have, let me find another iron, and we'll get 1 more gas. So in this case, it's fine to have the same resource in a column because it's only the rows that count. So you've got 4 unique resources, 4 there. That takes your arrow all the way up to 4. So you go into this black bag, you take 4 tokens out of here. A bit of potluck, they range from -5 to 0 to 5s to 10s. And you take these out depending on what you get. You put these face down for now in front of you. These are undeclared. Now if you do decide to declare these, you reveal them up, and at the audit phase, which would happen next, you would increase your goal by that amount. So 20, you could declare a couple maybe, and USA would then, so you'd rub out this 25, you then have 45 in gold declared. You've got 23 in credit out there, so that'd be what, 22? So you'd have 22 credit rating. And the bigger the variance, it's harder for other people to catch up. But then do you want to spend some of that variance during round 2 or 3 and the start phase during that bidding and printing currency to get more currency out there? Because if you do print currency, that's fine. You've got more currency out there, so your variance is different, your credit rate comes down. But as long as you remain competitive, more currency out there means that you potentially got more multipliers of victory points. So if you've brought out another $10 into the world, that's potentially 10 times 3, 30 victory points out there, depending on who can acquire that. So that is the mining and audit phase. You then hand back your tokens. So these tokens here would go back to all their respective owners. If you were the one with the zinc, you just put that back in your boat for next round. If you did have any resources you didn't spend, just leave them in your boat. So let's say you didn't spend this gas, you just leave it there for next round. These go back, and then you reset, you move the round token over to round 3 here, and literally you play out 4 rounds. Now there's a couple of things to note. You have got these audit tokens as well, if I can find one just here. One time use, any point during the game, you can challenge a player with an audit. Now let's just say you've mined and you've had a few -5s, or maybe you had some 10s and you don't want to declare them. That means you're not going to influence your audit here, so you're not going to change the numbers because you maybe have a plan. You want to keep the currency where it is, or your rating, and you don't want people to really know how what's going on in the background. But if someone audits you, they could say, right, I'm auditing the red player, the Russia, they've spent that one-time use. That player alone just gets to sneakily look at what they've got, giving them an understanding of what's going on in the background. They still remain undisclosed, and if someone else wants to order them, that's fair enough, but you only get one chance to do that. You then go back around to that bidding for the zinc. Now I should add that if you don't bid, if you're unfortunate and you're second in the bid, you would get one of these resources matching your nation. So the first player gets zinc, second player would get matching one there. So there's a bit of a compensation for that. At the end of 4 rounds then, depending on the strength of your rating, you've got sort of 3 end game scorers, depending on how you want to play it. So you could, or variant should I say. First one's called the 10k, and that will literally mean whoever has the highest credit currency. So in this case, if it was to end like this, which I very much doubt, there'd be a lot more variance. Anyone who has USA, the dollars, we get 3 victory points. Whoever has the most is the winner. Or if you played the 18K version, which is probably what I'd recommend, you would have the multipliers of all your currency. So if we were to look at this player, you know, they've got a mixture. They've got all these marks, and they're currently worth, where are we, 2 victory points each, because that's where they are in the pecking order. So all these are worth 2 victory points each. Their dollars, let's just take these up. So their dollars that they have, they've got 2 of those, are worth 3 victory points each. Their pounds are worth zilch, and their rubles are worth zilch. You can see maybe a diversified portfolio isn't the best option, because it's guaranteed one of those currencies is going to be worth 0. And there we are, folks, 4 rounds. Whoever has the most victory points from all those currencies, and you move your trackers around the board, is the winner of AU.